Welcome back, viewers, to another episode of Jessica's Bit Show Radio. If you're wondering why there is nothing on your screen, I'll tell you. If you remember the nutshell titled The Game of Life, I talked about how there was a black hole sun that lived in my room and greeted me every night when I went to bed, alone, and alone, some more. So the black hole sun has consumed me for the time being, for tonight, because I still needed to do a nutshell, and I had a fan leave me a MySpaz message about my nutshell titled The Game of Life. And let's read it. The video you have up, I liked it. I pretty much fucked up every relationship I've been in because I didn't want to screw up someone else's life. 1, I'm not the most emotional, stable person in the world to say. No. I don't mean I get angry or pissed off. I just don't know. I have weird thoughts. Think on the darker side and get depressed easy, and I live way different lifestyle than most like. I too at night get lonely. I'm so busy during the day, but at night, when I'm trying to settle down, I think, man, I wish I could just have that someone to lie next to. And it gets to me. It keeps me awake. And then I think back. I tell myself you should never look back. I don't know. But yeah, and kids, I just don't want to have a kid to have the life I have right now. I too have half of 2 degrees, and yet can't do shit out there. So I work at a McDonald's. Grrr. My choice in life is to advance in it and just get a steady paycheck. And I dated a blonde girl before. I found her more interesting than some other girls I dated. Alright, I will stop rambling now, but I want to say it's nice to listen to someone and know that we're not alone out there. 'Cause when you tell most people our problems, they look at you like, okay, loser, and walk off. Or they just automatically outcast you. Yeah, it's amusing. Okay, Jessica, take it easy. Cilly. Well, in my response to your fan mail, I'm not going to actually type it to you on MySpaz. This is me responding to your MySpaz message. But again, I'm sorry, the black hole sun consumed me for tonight. So no one gets to see me. But anyhow, in response to your message, I don't know what it is about relationships that, we keep, I get into a relationship and I just tell them right off the bat that, there's, some problems because, I want them to know what they're going to get themselves into, that, it's not going to be the kind of normal relationship that, they normally get or that they might expect from you. And, yeah, I get angry and pissed off, though. And I still have weird thoughts. And I think on the darker side, I get depressed easy. And I live a way different lifestyle than most. And that most like. I mean, sometimes I guess you can consider what I do socially unacceptable. At some of my humor, I get looks like, she's a girl, she shouldn't be talking like that, wash her mouth out with some fucking soap, some shit like that. I don't know. I just don't think people get my humor, and, I'm into way different things than most, so I never really can have a conversation with people and talk about it because, I don't know, I feel like it might bore them, or they'll look at me and judge me. I don't know what it is, but being different, being outcasted, definitely has its downs. You can be in a crowded room and feel the most alone. All eyes are on you. This is the way your mind is perceiving it anyhow, that all eyes are on you. They're jumping to the first conclusion on, who you are just by looks alone or by hearing something you say, and then they know your entire life, right? Well, no, it's much more complicated than that, and that's why I try not to judge people because, if I meet someone within the first 15 minutes, yeah, I can get a kind of good impression, if their manners are good or, kind of a little bit what they're into, where they're from, their background a little bit. So, I can kind of get a good idea of someone, but to say that, to judge someone and say, okay, you know what, they are too fucking crazy to understand, they're too complex, or, too hip-hop, too punk, too basket case, too losery, too uneducated. I don't know, what have you, whatever, people judge about. It's ridiculous out there. I mean, I don't know. I think people need to put that shit aside. And, at night, I feel you. During the day, I feel very busy. I don't have a whole lot of time. So it'd be hard to give my attention to a boyfriend or what have you. And then at nighttime, that's when, things have quieted down. I mean, silence is really deafening if you think about it. Right now, it's really quiet around me. And, my mind is just wandering, and it's going from the next thought to the next thought, as you hear on this video post. And, this is just, everything I do is ad-lib. I mean, except for the tracks, the MySpace tracks. I mean, I do previously record that, edit it, shit like that, but these video tracks do not have any sort of really fucking cohesion. I just kind of spew out anything I want to say. But back to topic, yeah, I'm so busy during the day, and then at night when things are really quiet, I think at nighttime we self-reflect. We, think about the day we had, or how we want the next day to go, or worrying about this, worrying about that. So when you're all alone and you do that every night, and you're alone. There's no warmth next to you, no hand on your shoulder, no breathing down your neck, no snoring, none of that. Anything that's peaceful that, one might find as a nuisance, is such as snoring. Not so much, because it's reassurance that someone's right next to you, living and breathing and wanting to be right by your side. So, that's what's missing, and I think that's what gets each and every one of us that are alone and, feel sad during the night, because they don't have anyone. I think that's why. Because we're missing that comfort, and we're wondering why we haven't found it, and if we will, how long can this continue, being without somebody, without someone that gets you just completely, just accepts you, all your fucking imperfections and your qualities, differences, assimilations, all of that. You just wonder, will you ever find it? And that's kind of what probably keeps us up at night. So, no, Cilly, you're not alone. I feel you on that. And you know what? Two ain't bad, and I'm sure there's going to be other people that do feel the same way. Because you know what? There's millions and billions of people out there, and I know there's other crazy people out there like us. So, yeah. Well, I have to work in about 4 hours. I have to work at 5 a.m. So I'm going to try and get some sleep, if you can call it that. And I will probably do a post tomorrow. We'll see. But I appreciate your message, Cilly, and know that, I appreciate everyone's messages. Sometimes I can't get back to everybody, but when I can, I really do try. And I enjoy, the responses that I get from doing the shows. And it's really great when other people tell you that they feel the same way, that I'm telling them something that they felt or that they can understand. Because then it helps me feel that, other people understand me then. Because sometimes I just feel like no one does, and that's the most aggravating feeling. Not being understood, and you yourself not understanding why you are feeling how you feel. So, on that note, I'm going to hit the sheets, and go to work in 4 or 5 hours. Alright, I'm Jessica, your host. Over and out.